Lumber prices have been higher than ever, and there's a Christmas tree shortage this holiday season. Are the lack of Christmas trees and lumber prices somehow connected? And does that mean home building is in for an expensive 2022? Lush with soft needles and a pleasant yet not overwhelming pine scent, the white pine is a popular Christmas tree. For those who prefer a more fragrant tree, the Douglas fir with shorter soft needles and a dense, easily shaped appearance is another fine choice. But beyond their affinity for making the season bright, these trees are popular for something else.
They're extremely popular as home building wood. I'm Nell McPherson. I am a contributing writer for the Motley Fool, mainly focusing on real estate. Last year, dramatic lumber price increases added as much as $30,000 to the cost of a new build. The National Association of Home Builders lets us know that prices are down considerably from their peak, which is great news, but it does look like they're trending back up again. We tend to want to blame the pandemic for all the supply chain issues that are going on right now, which makes sense because it is responsible for the majority, I believe. But Christmas trees kind of have their own stuff going on. The droughts and fires, unfortunately, this year have been a contributing factor, but we also have to keep in mind that problems that happen in a field like this with a renewable resource that takes so long to reach its ideal height, problems from years ago can still have repercussions that we're feeling right now. The National Christmas Tree Association actually let us know that the 2008 financial crisis has played a large role because so many growers couldn't afford to plant that year. Lumber has its own problems. Like with the Christmas tree shortage, several issues have come together to create the lumber shortage. But for the most part, these are separate issues from those facing the Christmas tree farmers. During the pandemic, a lot of people decided that they needed more space. A lot of people, their lifestyles changed so much during the pandemic. Whether they had a home office or they were homeschooling or now they were working out at home. And some people's employers told them that they would be able to work from home permanently. They could suddenly live anywhere they wanted. They weren't restricted by where their job was anymore. All of that created a lot of demand for lumber. And then, of course, with all this demand going on, they shut down a lot of lumber production also during the course of the pandemic. Now you had more demand and less supply to meet it.
What about lumber coming from outside the US?
We get about 25% of our lumber from Canada. And in 2018, the Trump administration did impose tariffs on lumber and steel. That led to more modest price increases at that time. But then, of course, with the demand spiking so much, along with the tariffs, those two things combined were a perfect storm for greatly inflated prices and a lot less supply.
So what does the future of lumber look like?
About a month ago, the Biden administration more than doubled the existing Canadian tariffs to almost 18%. Bipartisan efforts are currently underway to try to mitigate the impacts of that on the housing market and also on builders. That'll be something to keep an eye on if they're able to either eliminate or at least just significantly reduce the tariffs from Canada.
So if someone has a live Christmas tree in their home this holiday season,
I hope that they will enjoy it and rest assured that they have had zero impact on the lumber shortage.